أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ما لهم به من علم إن يتبعون إلا الظن وإن الظن لا يغني من الحق شيئا صدق الله العلي العظيم اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد وبارك وسلم وصلي عليه. My dear brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Brothers and sisters, there's an ayah in the Quran Hakim in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala quotes Hazrat Ibrahim alayhi salam. Hazrat Ibrahim alayhi salam says to his uncle, whose name was Azar, he says to him, Ya abati inni qad ja'ani min al-ilm. Says, oh my dear uncle, indeed there has come to me from knowledge, from ilm. Qad ja'ani min al-ilm ma lam yatik, which you don't have. So as a result, fattabi'ni, obey me, follow me, fattabi'ni, and I will guide you to the straight path. The question or the point here we need to consider here, my dear brothers and sisters, is what type of knowledge is Hazrat Ibrahim alayhi salam talking about? What kind of knowledge does he have as a prophet and his uncle who's not a prophet? What kind of knowledge does a prophet have and a non-prophet doesn't have? I mean, there are many difficult types of knowledges, different types of knowledges. There is the Gnostical knowledge, there is the acquired knowledge, there is the human knowledge, spiritual knowledge. You know, there's so many unseen knowledge. There's so many types of knowledges. What type of knowledge does Ibrahim alayhi salam mean when he says to his uncle that follow me because I have the ilm, I have the knowledge which you don't have? In order to determine, in order to find that out, my dear brothers and sisters, the difference between the knowledge of an ordinary human being and the knowledge of a prophet, let us go to epistemology and ask, find out from what type of, what is the difference between the sources of knowledge for a prophet and a non-prophet. All the ordinary human beings, brothers and sisters, me, you and everyone else, until the day of judgment, all human beings, their knowledge is of two types. Either it's mediate knowledge or immediate knowledge, or simply in our everyday to-day language, we can say direct knowledge and indirect knowledge. Now bear with me because we are trying to determine the sources of knowledge for the prophet and for a non-prophet. So these are the two types of knowledges, the direct and the indirect. The direct knowledge, my brothers and sisters, is of three types: intuition, inherent quality, and priority extemporization. Intuition simply is this, brothers and sisters, the feeling of being alive. I mean, I don't have to tell you and you don't have to tell me and nobody has to tell anybody that, look brother, you are alive, you're living. Did you know? No, we don't. We directly know that we are alive and we are living. So that's the first direct knowledge that we have. Then it's inherent quality. The flying of the birds, the swimming of the fish. I mean, these birds don't have to go to the flying center to take lessons in flying, do they? It is their inherent quality. The fish, the swimming of the fish, they don't take lessons in the local swimming pool, do they? It is their nature to swim. So that's the second kind of direct knowledge that we have. Then third is priority extemporization, which is the feeling of thirst, of hunger, of warmth, and of cold. We know these things directly. We don't ask our brothers and sisters, we don't ask anybody, oh, can you tell me please, am I hungry or am I not? We know it directly that we are hungry and thirsty. So these are the three types of direct knowledge that we have as human beings. Indirect knowledge, my brothers and sisters, is of two types. Knowledge with the senses and knowledge with intellect. We have 5 external senses: sight, smell, hearing, taste, and touch. When these 5 senses, when they receive information, when they perceive, when they feel, then it's called knowledge with the senses. And when these senses present their knowledge to our intellect, then it is called, my dear brothers and sisters, knowledge with the intellect. But the knowledge that we are talking about, the prophets, my dear brothers and sisters, is not this type of knowledge. We are not talking about the knowledge that comes through these sources. This is also knowledge, of course, but this is partial knowledge. The knowledge that is arrived at through these sources is limited knowledge, is relative knowledge, is a little bit of knowledge. But the knowledge that the prophets have, my brothers and sisters, that is the total and absolute knowledge. See, the problem began from here, that when these philosophers and logicians and scientists, when they started to treat the knowledge that we receive like sense experience, or the knowledge that we received through these sources, they try to mistake that knowledge as the real knowledge. But as a matter of fact, the true and absolute and total knowledge is the knowledge of the prophets, alayhimu salatu wassalam, which in the language of religion we call revelation, we call wahi. That's why we'll give our hand in the hands of prophets, and we will not give our hand in the hands of philosophers.